Hey guys, how you guys doing? Peace, love, and rock and roll. I got my just want to do some rant here. I got my I have to get this straightened here. I got my Hot Topic necklace on, one of the two I bought. I like it. And then I got two Hot Topic rings on today. I got this one, and I got this one. I don't I don't I don't yeah. So I like them. So that's good. Um, so I want to discuss right now. I want to discuss sometimes how the lead guitarist in a band really is almost more of a frontman sometimes than the even famous frontman actually. Not always true, but I'll just discuss some examples of that. And me, in my case, I sing and play, so I don't have a dog in that race. Really, I think singing is just as important, and I do sing as well as play guitar. I mean, I sing also, and I play guitar. But take the bands like let's take Black Sabbath. You know, Ozzy was great. I mean, he's one of the four greatest rock stars that ever walked the earth. But if Tony Iommi didn't play the stuff he played, you know, the heavy metal type stuff for the day, you know, the dark, sinister riffs he came up with time and time again, it wouldn't matter if there's an Ozzy up there because there wouldn't be music to back that up. So Tony Iommi was very, very important. As much as Ozzy was so important, but Tony Iommi is also so important to Black Sabbath. And then take Led Zeppelin. You know, Robert Plant is he gives Ozzy a run for his money. I mean, that guy was so cool, and still is. But Jimmy Page, though not the front man, he was one of a kind to do the things he did. You know, he took blues, which Jimi Hendrix says he stole too much from blues and didn't give it credit, but whatever. He still made music out of it, his own stuff, and he still promoted the music by borrowing it if he did. That's legitimate. That's still promoting the blues if you look at it that way, rather than stealing the blues if you look at the Jimi Hendrix looked at it as. But Jimmy Page did so much cool stuff on guitar and so many varied, diverse things, styles he could play and everything. As badass as Robert Plant was to take this comment, somebody said in an early gig of Led Zeppelin, they said, "We want to see Jimmy Page. We came here to see Jimmy Page," and it didn't even flinch Robert Plant. He didn't even flinch, which is cool to Robert Plant, but you know, it's cool to Jimmy that they wanted to see Jimmy Page, the guitar player, really as much or more as the singer, you know. And they take Deep Purple, you know. I mean, Deep Purple has the best vocalist of all time, in my opinion. Ian Gillan, only vocalist that ever beat Freddie Mercury in my book. Only one. Freddie's number two, and nobody beats him except maybe Ian Gillan from Deep Purple. But Richie started the classical thing on the guitar, and he was so well versed in Bach and classical stuff. He was the first guitarist in rock to really use his pinky finger on his left hand to full extent. And the way he played Beethoven's, you know, Ninth Symphony at times. Well, that was with Rainbow, but still, I digress a lot there. But just his classical influence on the sound of Deep Purple gave Ian Gillan a backdrop to put his greatest vocals on. That if Richie went there, it would just be different. You know, Ian Gillan wouldn't have been Ian Gillan without Richie behind him playing the neoclassical heavy metal rock stuff, inventing the riff to Smoke on the Water, etc. And you know, so there's that. And then Van Halen, you know. Van Halen is the best American rock group. Okay, the Englishmen give us a run for our money though, because there's so many great English bands. But if you talk about American bands, nobody beats Van Halen. And yet, as wild and crazy as David Lee Roth was, I mean, he was a great front man. I mean, come on, one of the best of all time. But if it weren't for Eddie doing his stuff, David would have looked like a jerk. It would have been stupid. But Eddie was phenomenal, one of the greatest guitarists of all time. You know, he had groove like nobody's business. He made tapping a thing, maybe not invented it, but he made it a thing. And he just had so much heart and sincerity and soul in his music. And man, I try to live up to that. I try to emulate that. I try to channel that. But whether I do or not, Eddie already did it. And without Eddie Van Halen, the Led Zeppelin wouldn't. I mean, the Van Halen just wouldn't have been the same, you know. And Eddie was always happy. He had good energy. He gave good energy on stage. That's important too, you know. It wasn't just a geek in the guitar studio playing, you know, cool riffs. He brought it to the he brought it to the stage too. And so I want to mention that guitar players are just as important as a singer, you know. And I just want to do a video acknowledging this, you know, like even sometimes the guitar player would even be the leader of the band. Like the band Robin Trower was actually led by Robin Trower, the guitarist, not Jimmy Dewar, the bassist vocalist. And Robin Trower didn't even sing, and the band is called Robin Trower, not the Robin, you know, not the James Dewar band or anything, you know. So anyway, I'm just ranting. I'm in my big chair. Yeah, I seem to be on a roll as far as breakthroughs goes, because just after I stopped my live today, I finally got an upgrade in my alternate picking. Oh, that's what you do. My muscle memory just kicked in on my alternate picking, and now I've got that as a third recent breakthrough. I've got slide guitar, I've got whammy bar, and now I've got an upgrade to my alternate picking. It happened after the video, after I already finished recording this morning, but it happened. My picking is where I want it to be. I have whammy bar technique. I have slide guitar, and somebody's calling me about saying they're from what do you call it again? KBR Studios. I have nothing against, you know, touring and all that. In fact, what do you want to do? What a rock star's supposed to do? I mean, touring is the whole deal. But he sounded like he might be Pudge. You know, he sounded like it might be another attempt to yank my chain. Way to go, Pudge! You're so smart. And then not only that, they want me to turn in Mari. They're against Mari. They're saying she's a scammer and all that. And I'm not buying it, dude. They want a picture of Mari. I'm not sending them her picture. And then they say she's a fraud as a manager. She's not even asking to be my manager. She said, "Can you get someone else to do it?" She's not even trying to be my manager, dude. Do your homework, whoever you are. You know, Mari's my friend. I'm not throwing her under the bus. You know, I'm just not doing that. I don't do that to my friends. Sorry, Pudge, or whoever you are from KBR BR Records or whatever. Plus the moderator's already making me a studio here in California. It's going to be ready in a couple months. So I've got that too. That's important to me. I'm just not the kind of, I'm going to race off around the country and leave everyone behind. See you guys later. I'm making some money here. I'm an asshole. Of course, I would have offered Moderator to come with me. He was going to get to play bass, you know, and sharpen his bass skills and come with me. But we realized it's probably Pudge yanking everybody's chain again. Aren't you cool, Pudge? How do you stand being yourself? You're so great. Whatever. I'm just kidding. So yeah, I don't need to go gallivanting around the country, betray my friend Mari. The fact that Moderators almost got me a studio completed to record, mainly for me. I'm not an asshole. So no. First, I don't even know this guy's legit. Second of all, he's asking me to return it, to betray my friends in 2 different cases and different ways. Yeah, I got to take your 25,000. It's nothing to you. I mean, that's not that much money anyway, dude. You should have offered me more, because 25,000 isn't that much. I owe 141,000 on my home. 25,000 wouldn't even put much of a dent in that. I'm not that money hungry. I'm not like, if you dangle a dollar bill in front of me, I'm just going to jump off a cliff. That's not my style. That's not who I am. But anyway, there's that. I'm just keeping you guys up to date. Oh, and also, is there anything else I want to say while I'm here? I want to say I really love my fans lately. I really appreciate you guys on my walks. You're really supporting me. I really do. I mean, you guys give me the energy so I can give it back and do my thing and help the world with rock and roll and peace. And again, thank you, Donald John Trump, for texting me. I really appreciate it. You get back to me. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I delay even getting back to you, and you still get back to me eventually. Even if I didn't have time to get back to you, you'll get back to me, which I really appreciate. Keep rocking and keep making America great again. And yeah, if you wanted me to work with you, I would get dressed up in a suit and go to the East Coast. I don't really want to for no reason, but that's a reason. So I would do it because there's a reason behind it. And there's a price you pay for things, and that would be the price. And I'll do it if you want me to. If you're not, good. I like being shirtless guy in Southern California. I'm not going anywhere unless I have a good reason to, right? LOL. So, yeah, everything's going good. Yeah, and guitar improvements galore, dude. I was working on songs, and I was working on playing covers of all things for a lot of the time, and I still am. But right now, I'm going with my flow, and I'm just making all these breakthroughs in lead guitar that I wasn't making it for a long time. Just my guitar technique was just static for a long time, but now it's just improving left and right. If I played right now, right this second, you guys would see the alternate breaking breakthrough. I'm almost sure of it. And then I got the whammy bar breakthrough and the slide guitar. Anything else? Just doing some random rant. Okay, you guys ready for this one? I'll give you guys something. It came to me, so whatever. Here goes. Did you guys know that there's actually an equation that's the closest they've come up to making the unified field theory? It's the closest equation to combining general relativity with quantum mechanics that exists on the planet. It's called the Wheeler-DeWitt equation. And even though time is mentioned as part of the structure of the system it's investigating, which is space-time. Space-time is 3 dimensions of space plus a 4th dimension of time. Yes, that is a thing, and it's in the it's the background of the Wheeler-DeWitt equation. But what's interesting is that given that the Wheeler-DeWitt equation talks about the universe as a block that's already set and static, and guess what, people? I mean, people in a good way though. There's no time variable in the DeWitt in the Wheeler-DeWitt equation. Time does not come up as a variable to the equation that's most closely solves the unified field theory, search. What does that mean? That time's not in the equation means that there is no time. You can describe the universe in the deepest ways known to man today by combining quantum mechanics and general relativity to come up with an equation in which time is not a variable. What does that mean then? It means time is imaginary, time is an illusion, and time does not exist in physical, absolute mathematical terms. The equation that best describes the universe has no time variable in it, which means the universe does not flow through time. It is time static, which means you will always be you. Yes, you go through different points along the 4-dimensional cube of space-time. You go from point to point, maybe life to life, and body to body, and whatever. But you don't get out of being yourself. You don't get to go to heaven or hell and get to be divorced from the earth or divorced from, the life you just lived. You probably don't get. If you get to be reincarnated, you're still going to have your same karma. So don't expect it to be too much different than what you have right now. And what you have right now is always, it's eternal because there is no time. Everything that happened to you in your life and everything that will happen to you is all already planned, already happened. It's all in a 4-dimensional grid of space-time. And everything that happens just as you tiptoe through this 4-dimensional cube. It's all planned though. It already exists. The baby that was born you and the old person that will die you already exists. And always will in this block. I guess as long as the universe exists, at least. I guess there's that question too, but whatever. And the it's an illusion when that time is an illusion. You're going from place to place in a block that has no time, that does not have time as a variable. It's just different pieces and places in the block that you go from one to another as you make your journey. There's no time in the sense that there's no past, present, future dichotomy. It all exists. You're just tromping through an already made form that already has every version of you that ever existed, or even could exist, perhaps. It's all already there. You're just jumping from one part of the cube to the other. It makes you seem like you're going through time, but you're really not, because there's no time variable in the Wheeler-DeWitt equation. Time is not a variable. You can describe the universe in the deepest metaphysical and modern and quantum mechanical and general relativity ways in the whole world, and time never shows up. And worse than that, and that's bad enough. That's enough to digest, is it not? But then there's also this. The physicists that are mainstream don't tell the public this. They think the public can't handle it. They don't, or either that, or they don't want us to know for their own nefarious reasons. So they dodge the subject, they duck the subject, and they say nonsense to try to cover their asses in the fact that their equation actually says that there is no time. Time is an illusion. And there's one physicist, I forget his first name. His last name is Barbour. He might be Justin Barbour, but something Barbour. It's Barbaur. He wrote a book called The End of Time. I tried to get it at Barnes & Noble yesterday, but they didn't have it. I would have bought it, but they didn't have it. So that's weird, because the bookstores don't even sell it because they don't want, it's too fringe for them, or they don't want us to know, or somebody doesn't want, I don't know. But from what this Barbour guy had a PhD, still does, but never joined academia because of their blatant hypocrisy and not telling the public the truth. He chose to not even get a job as a physics professor when he already earned his doctorate in physics. Instead, he just does little things. He wrote the book, The End of Time, and just does little things to make money. But he left the institution that was being insincere about what he knew to be true. So that's called integrity. And I hope I can get that book someday. So anyway, I guess peace, love, and rock and roll.